What's up? What's up? Just came off of work. As you can see, still in my uniform. I'm not really comfortable initially doing videos in my uniform because it's like, you want things to look a certain way. You want to give a certain image, act like you're more than what you are or whatever, but I just don't care anymore, so because I want to be consistent with doing these, and it feels like if I continue to wait on the perfect opportunity, the perfect setup for myself, for my surroundings, it's gonna take way too long. I'm not gonna be able to be consistent, so we're just gonna do it wherever it gets done. So yeah, got my uniform on, but I'm hiding the company name because I don't know how the internet works. I know a lot of weird people out there want to do stupid shit, and it's like, yeah, I don't have time for that. Not yet. One day I will. As we get better, we progress more, we're gonna show a lot more. But for right now, hey, if you recognize the uniform and you know off the rip, then that's on you. But for those who don't, yeah, you're gonna be in the dark about that for a little bit. But topic of this video, at least majority of it, I want to speak on falling in love with the process. Better yet, surrendering to the process. And the thing about surrendering is like you kind of basically you let go. You stop that friction of fighting and trying to just get to your goal right away, like trying to, we want the things we want so badly that once we visualize it and we have it, we just want it right away. We want to skip the process so badly because we hate the process. We want to live in our desired reality right away. The process is tedious, it's frustrating, it's difficult, and it's just not where we want to be. And speaking from experience, like, yeah, you want to, you may be grinding, you're at work, you're doing your job, you're doing your business, whatever the case is. A lot of this stuff is not perceived as fun initially, and I just want to kind of change your mind towards that. You got to really not just fall in love with the process, but surrendering to the process. That's like the first thing. Before you can love it, you got to surrender to it. That stops the friction, because that actually makes the process take longer. It kind of propels your desired reality further away from you, because when you despise the process, you're basically affirming to yourself that you're not where you want to be yet. You're affirming to yourself that you're actually still in the process. So when you surrender to the process and you start to actually enjoy the process and say, you know what, the process is the destination, you're going to start to embody the emotions of being where you want to be at already. You're going to start to, instead of feeling frustrated and anger, sadness, depressed about the process, you're going to have to start to feel contentment, happiness, joy. Most importantly, contentment, because even if you can't be super happy, you can be neutral, but definitely contentment, so that you can kind of tell yourself, hey, even though you're physically in the moment, you're in the process, but emotionally and mindset wise, you're at the end goal. You're treating the process like the end goal. Emotionally, you're surrendering to it. And then you start to enjoy it after a while, because it's like a muscle. The more you work it, the better, stronger it gets. The ability to just surrender to the process and start to feel, let's not say happiness, because we're not chasing happiness, but start to feel fulfilled in your daily work. That fulfillment, because you want to get to a certain point in life, certain process. You want certain success and certain money because you want to feel fulfilled. So feel that fulfillment right now while you're in the process. That does several things. It makes you enjoy the process more, so you can continue to do the process more. You can be more consistent with the process. If you hate to do it and you find a lot of friction when it comes to doing it, you're not going to do it as often as necessary to actually accomplish something. You want to embody that feeling. For example, my job right now is a part of the process to get to where I want to be, because I'm making so much money at this job. It's more money than I ever made in my life. I am not really in this moment close to being rich, but I'm way richer than I was before. But the process of doing this job is very physically demanding, mentally demanding. It's a lot, but it pays a lot, so it kind of makes sense. And with the money I'm making from this job, I can now invest into different things. I'm doing YouTube. I can invest into equipment. I can have the peace of mind while I'm pursuing bigger goals, knowing that all my bills are paid, and I have plenty extra after they're paid, every week, every month, every cycle. So my job is a part of my process to get to where I want to be, and I have to now be happy with my job. Let's not say happy. You could be, it's moments of happiness for sure, but that's not the goal, is happiness, but definitely content. And I want to feel fulfilled. And you gotta, like, no matter what you're doing, a lot of people who get stuck in the 9-to-5 for long, or at least, it's okay if you're in the 9-to-5, but you don't elevate in your career. You're stuck at it as a damn barista or something for years because you hate it. You can't hate it. Like, that energy you're putting out is gonna get you perpetually stuck there, because whatever you focus on grows. And when you hate something, you're still focused on it. So you have to be content to give yourself mental bandwidth to think about other things, even while you're where you don't want to be. I have real examples of that. The job I had before this, I had coworkers who were complaining constantly about the job, and I'm just like, you're giving too much energy to this job. You're already here. Don't even think about it. No matter what you're going through there, don't even think about it too much. Just think about where you want to be. Use that energy, no matter how frustrating it is. And it's easy to get caught in a moment, but no matter what you're going through at this place that you hate to be, don't give that too much energy. You got to look from your goal instead of looking at your goal. Put yourself where you want to be first, embody that, and then you go from there. I've had real examples of this from I have a commercial driver's license, a Class A CDL, and I could drive manual too. So, I have no restrictions, top of the top. I didn't get any endorsements yet, but, that's fine. I'll have air brakes. But the point is, when I was in school, up until this job, the school for commercial driving was very hard for me. One of the hardest things I ever had to do, and especially because I never saw myself actually doing that in life. Like, I never wanted to be a truck driver. I didn't even know how much money they really made until I had a friend who did it, but I never really cared for it. And I was always very intimidated by the size of these trucks. And going through that process was very difficult for me. And I had people in school with me who were like UPS drivers and stuff prior to coming to the school, so they already had driving experience, so it was a lot easier for them. For me, it was very hard. I never did any type of driving job for real. So me being behind the wheels of any vehicle was uncomfortable, especially a semi-truck. So it was tough for me. But when I was in the school, there's like different tasks and stuff, like different little tests we had to take prior to qualify to get on the road, and then we pass the road, and then we take the actual test. So there's like a bunch of mini tests before the actual test to prepare you. So they know that if you can pass all these mini tests, they know that you're ready to actually go take the state test. So these mini tests were super difficult for me. I saw a lot of people just easing through them. Yeah, it's tough for them, but they caught on pretty fast. For me, it was a disaster. I started to lose hope. Like, I had to pay out of pocket for this. It was like $5,000. And $5,000 to me at the time was a lot of money. And I'm like, I wasted my money coming here because I may not actually get through this. And I was very nervous. Like I said, I was very intimidated by the trucks. That was a part of the reason why I was struggling so much. And I had to just try something outside of me actually just physically doing the work. I had to try something spiritually. Like, so before, I usually fail these tests, or before this one particular test, I just like, instead of me being super nervous and just keep thinking about what I have to do, to pass these things, or I'm just overthinking it, I'm just gonna act like I passed it. I'm gonna do my best to embody how I would feel if I passed it already. How would I feel? I feel happy, content, confidence, like, and I really sat there real quick right before the test. I'll just do it real quick, like, let me just really lie to myself and trick myself and really believe it. And I swear to you, this worked for the first time, when I really did it, I didn't even, usually I would be thinking about what I have to do. Oh, I gotta, hit the clutch 2 times to shift gears, probably all that stuff. And I'm just like, nah, I'm not even gonna think about all that. I'm just gonna act like happy, like, yo, I'm gonna be excited when I pass this, so I'm gonna be excited right now. And I really did that, and I kid you not, I passed, and then I would continue to do that my entire way through the school until I got my actual license. And that expedited the process for me so much. And this is how it works. This is how manifestation works. And I have to remind myself of this a lot of times too, but like, because you get caught up in life, you forget what actually works. But this definitely works, and it works for everything. Like, when you're starting something new, don't even try, just approach it from the perspective of somebody who is an expert already. And how would somebody who was at the top of that field, how would they come into this? Well, how would they feel? They would have the confidence. They would have just the knowing, the calmness, and they would just do it. And even if it doesn't work right away, it's still in your best interest to approach it from that perspective. Because you're approaching it from anywhere else is just doing yourself a disservice. You're setting yourself back more from coming at something timidly and scared and acting like a beginner. Act like you know what you're doing. Feel like you know what you're doing, more importantly. And you give yourself a significantly higher chance. I'm talking about, like, it's so powerful. It is so powerful that you can't even fathom. It's more powerful than we've been taught. 100%. So, yeah, just give that a shot with everything you're doing, and I swear. And another thing I would like to speak about is dopamine fast, right? Because when you're doing something new, yeah, it's difficult for sure. No matter how you approach it, yeah, it's because it's unfamiliar. So when you want to do something new, you're gonna have to or get to a different level. It's good to give yourself a dopamine fast, meaning that you want to cut yourself off of easy, simple pleasures. Because what easy, simple accomplishments, or fake accomplishments, because it's not really, but you feel like you accomplished something, but it was so easy that it's gonna make, now when you approach something that's difficult, you're not gonna have the fire and the drive to actually do it. And you need fire and drive and real testosterone and dopamine to do something you've never done. You're breaking down a wall with your bare hands. You've never done it. So when you fast from the dopamine, you're kind of building up that urge to accomplish something. And that urge, as human beings, we want to do that. Especially as men, we want to accomplish, you want to build. Now when you go and you listen to music, you watch movies, you just take these little simple pleasures. Same thing with different vices, drugs, alcohol, bad foods, meaningless sex, masturbation. You are giving yourself these sense of accomplishments that you didn't have to work for. It's not hard to do these things. It's very simple. And now, because you just depleted your dopamine receptors, your dopamine in general, when it comes down to something that's actually hard, you're not going to do it. You're not going to have the drive, because you've been accomplishing you feel accomplished already. Couple years, it's not that long. It feels recent, but I feel like it was a long time ago. I was doing sales. I was selling life insurance and different different financial tools and stuff through this company. Many people may know it. It's Primerica. Used to be A.L. Williams, but it's Primerica. And I don't do it anymore, but I fully actually stand by this company. I still have the insurance myself. I would still encourage people, if you want to get your foot into sales or real entrepreneurship, you could do that for a while. You may do it for a long period of time if it really works out for you, but it's good to get your foot into seeing what commission feels like, And it was one of the most difficult things I've done, because it's so different, it's so uncomfortable, it's so psychological, it's so spiritual. It's very hard because it's sales, and it's we're not accustomed to that. Being just a person who has just been working your whole life, you have no idea what it's like to go out and actually like earn money that's not guaranteed from a paycheck. It's very difficult. And during the month that I made the most money in that company, like that month where I made decent amount of money, like the car, I swear to God, the car I'm sitting in right now, my Infinity, I made the majority of the money I paid for this car from that month doing that business. I had this car for like over 2 years now. I bought it during that time that I was doing that. During the month where I made the most money, I went on a dopamine fast. I didn't even know what it was at the point. I didn't know what the benefits were really going to be. I forgot what's the reason. I was on like a coaching call and somebody mentioned doing it, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And my upline did it with me also. Basically, I didn't listen to for a month, I didn't listen to any music. No Netflix, no TV, no mindless scrolling. I went on social media, but it's mostly just to post and get off. No masturbation, no porn. And at the time I used to smoke, and I was drinking. And I stopped smoking for the month. Now I don't smoke at all, but at that point I was a smoker. Stopped smoking for the month, didn't drink the entire month. Literally and no music. That was because I posted about it on my Instagram, saying that I'm not gonna do it, and people commented, and people said the hardest thing that it would be for them would be the giving up of music for a month. People can music. It was easier for people to give up smoking and drinking than compared to giving up music. But yeah, like I said, I did all of that. Gave up all of that for a month, and when I tell you I was just listening to motivational videos, informational videos, I was reading, I would work out a lot, basically just drain myself energy wise, doing productive stuff. And yeah, end of the day I would just fall asleep, wake up, do it again for a month, and it made me go harder in my business. I spoke to more people, I closed more, had way more meetings. Like it was crazy. I got so much done because I was fiending to feel good. I didn't get the easy ways to feel good. So I had to literally, to feel good, I had to accomplish something that was difficult as fuck. It was difficult, super hard to do it, because I wasn't giving myself the easy wins. And I got it done. And that works. It's so many reasons why that works. Scientifically, spiritually, everything. It works on all levels. Dopamine fast is really one of the hidden gems. And now, like, I haven't done it in a while. I've done it after that point in time. But I feel like now I do it as like a lifestyle. Like, I don't really, like, now I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch Netflix. I do my best to catch myself whenever I'm mindlessly scrolling. And, you know, it's a case-by-case basis with certain things. Maybe some people can still be very productive while doing these things, but it depends on what you really want. Like, I want the most. And especially, you know what? It's a case-by-case basis, but it's based off of where you are in life. If you are broke, if you have not accomplished anything really... Yeah, apparently my phone ran out of storage, which is crazy because I pay Apple money every month for iCloud, but whatever the case is. What I'm saying is, if you are at a certain level, if you are broke and you are not wanting to be broke and you want to accomplish something big, it's best to not spend your extra time on leisurely things at all, or very minimal. You shouldn't be watching Netflix and going out every weekend, partying, having way too much fun and doing all these things. If you want to be something that's significant in life, you just shouldn't be doing it. It's not, your majority of your time should be spent doing things that's going to get you to your goals. You don't have time. You don't have time, and it doesn't matter how long it takes. It may take years, a couple of years of sacrificing, having these little insignificant amounts of fun to set your entire rest of your life up for greatness is definitely worth it. And not a lot of people are going to understand that. You're going to seem weird. You're going to seem different. You're going to feel like you're missing out, but you're not. Everything is all the same. Everything that you're missing out on is the same. Matter of fact, things are getting worse. Parties nowadays are boring as hell. Nothing's happening. People are just on their phones. It's not even worth it anymore. Speaking from experience, it's not even worth it anymore. I didn't went and checked. Yeah, it's not worth it anymore. You might as well set yourself up for greatness so you can party internationally. And not just, a little vacation party. I'm talking about international, like high levels of great things. You may go on social media and see your little friends and stuff having fun and what quote unquote seems to be fun, taking trips here and there, going all these places, but they're doing it at a limited capacity, and they still have to come back home and go back to a job or a life that they don't really want to be at. That's why they're feeling to take vacations multiple times a year. The ones who've got decent jobs enough to afford it, where it's just peasantry to me. It's just too simple. You're not missing out on anything. And a lot of times why people will go and take these vacations and do these things is because they don't believe that they could accomplish a lifestyle that they don't need a vacation from. They're taking vacations right now because they do not have the belief that if they work their asses off, that they're gonna be able to have a vacation life. But if you really want that, you have to believe it now. Believe that you're not missing out on anything, because you're not. You've done it already. 9 times out of 10, you've been on a vacation before. You've done all these things. You see what it is. It's not enough. You want more. So do more, be more, and don't feel like you're missing out on these little insignificant things. It's nothing. So that's a part of the dopamine fast right there. So let's go out and accomplish the biggest things that we can. You have these desires in you because God wants this for you. The God within you wants this for you. And big God wants it for you too. So get it for yourself. And you know what? It takes sacrifice. You know what it takes. Let's get to it.